Man, so we here. The end of the season. We fumbled the bag. Eagles dropped this one 24-17 at home in the Kelly Greens because we decided to play our backups. Was it wise? Did we fumble the bag on this one? Did we make a huge mistake by not capitalizing on the 2 seed that was low hanging fruit? Let's talk about it. Welcome back to the Down South Philly Show, brought to you by Sports Lounge Media. How we doing today? We got another Tuesday, so it must be Down South Philly Day. It's 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard. As we sit here, the Eagles are 11-6. We got to talk about this contest, if you want to call it a contest, between the Washington Commanders, or what I affectionately call the backup bowl. So in this one, we go into this one as the 3 seed in hopes of potentially securing the 2 seed. What had to happen for us to get the 2 seed is, one, the Bears had to fall to the Lions, and we had to beat. All we had to do was hold up our end of the bargain and beat the Commanders. Well, Lions did their part. We didn't hold up our end. Going into it, we knew that Nick Sirianni had made the decision to rest the starters, and ultimately, a decision that split the fan base in half. You have a certain power. You have a half, basically half. Half of the fan base said we had to go for that 2 seed. They don't care what you say. The right decision was 2 seed because that guarantees you 2 home games, and you end up playing the Packers in the first round, which is a weaker matchup. Yada yada yada. Then you got your other part of the fan base who says, "No, I think it's smart to rest the starters." Obviously, some of the players are beat up in this part of the year, and it's a long season. We've had no back-to-back home games, so we've been on the road pretty much every other game. 18 weeks of football, man. And when you look at our offensive line, I think that's probably the unit that needed the rest the most. So, in my opinion, as soon as Nick said that he was gonna come out, rest the starters, I'm like, all right, that makes sense. I'm cool with it. Two reasons. One, it's a bye week. We tend to always be dangerous out of a bye anyway. It allows the whole team to kind of take a step back, and guarantees that you at least don't get injured for a week. While giving your starters a rest. They've been going non-stop since about what, week 9? I think that was about week 9 or week 8 or 9. We had a middle of the pack type of bye, so we've been going non-stop since then. We come out, you know, with the Packers, and then we play the Lions, and we play the Cowboys. Y'all know the schedule. It was just a tough game after tough game after tough game. And when you get to this part of the season, you got to give your guys some rest. If it was a guarantee that we get the 2 seed if we suit up, then it probably changes things for Nick Sirianni. But it was still a coin flip. We could have held up our end of the bargain, and the Lions just got beat. We depended on the Lions to potentially beat teams this year, and they folded. Now they've also come through on a few teams like the Cowboys, for sure. Um, But I 100% agree with Nick Sirianni and his choices to sit the starters in this one. Let us go into this playoff run fresh, or as fresh as can be. Let us go into it with clear minds, and give us the best chance to succeed in the playoffs. So others might say offense has been looking pretty much terrible. They haven't gelled all year long, so it didn't make sense to sit them because they didn't earn it. Well, I don't agree with that. Um, whether I could see both sides of the coin, so I'm not just gonna act like I'm 100% for the buy, because I definitely would have understood if we had gone for the 2 seed. But you know, no sense crying over spilled milk. Once Nick made the decision to sit the starters, I was for it. And I honestly think that it ended up being the best decision. Now, just walk with me here. This could end up working in our favor 100%. So we almost got what we wanted without even playing the starters, because it wasn't like, yeah, we lost, but we had chances to win that game. And if you ask some people, they may say that we actually tried to lose the game just by play calling and certain things that we did within the game that made it more difficult for us to win it. So we end up drawing the 49ers, who are pretty beat up. And then we'll dissect them in the second half of the show. But just for the purposes of this conversation, that might end up being a better matchup than the Packers, when you think about it. So I think the Packers also rested their starters because they were locked into the 7. So there's no reason for them to even trot the starters out. Obviously, players like Jordan Love, coming off a concussion, so he may not have even been cleared to play anyway. Um, Definitely going to play this week. So with that being said, they're coming off rest, which is essentially a bye week for them as well. I don't think that the Packers are a pushover. I'm giving them better than a 50-50 chance to win this game against the Bears. And if that happens, so two things. So if the Bears lose to the Packers and we take care of business at home like we're supposed to, boom, we back we back to the 2 seed, baby. We back to the 2 seed because Bears are the 2 seed. They get eliminated. We take over the rights to being the next highest seed. So that'll guarantee us, a second round home playoff game, which I'll take. Even if we got to go on the road, I like my chances with the field. It's not like you see anybody, especially in the NFC bracket, where you like, oh, I'm scared of them. Now, if you ask fans and some fans and media, especially the national media, they'll tell you that the Rams are the team to beat. They've been the team to beat all year long. Well, guess who typically has the Rams number? The Birds. We typically had a Packers number. I'm not afraid of Sam Darnold or Brock Purdy or who else? Bryce Young. It's just not there's no juggernaut in the entire NFL, but especially in the NFC. Um, the most wide open year in the NFL that I can ever remember. So I like our chances. Our defense has been playing lights out all year long, but they turned it up a notch after that bye. So with the addition of a Jalen Phillips coming off the edge, with the addition of a pass rush that we didn't have at the beginning of the year, we got players like Jalix Hunt, who not only leading the team in sacks with 6.5, but he leading the team in picks as well. So we'll talk about him a little later, but the first thing about this game that comes to mind, Tanner McKee, man. All right, so can we put this ridiculous notion to bed that let's put in Tanner McKee, let's see what he can do? Well, you've seen what he can do. Now, I have to be fair. It's not like it's apples to apples with this because our line was already bad. The line that we put out there against the Commanders was mm, I don't even have any adjectives to describe how bad that offensive line was. And Pryor is a turnstile out there. So we got Big Fred. He was probably our best offensive lineman that we had out there. He had to move over to left tackle because you can't trust Pryor to protect anybody's blind side, let alone their front side. But there's the issue at offensive line. The offensive line was worse than it's been all year long, and it wasn't a good unit. Um, he didn't have no AJ. He had Smitty for maybe a quarter and a half, just as long as it took for him to get his 1,000 yards this season. Um, and you had Coop Jahan, Grant Calcaterra, who ends up going down in this one. Hopefully he'll be okay down the stretch. And Tank Bigsby in the backfield. So you can't really say fairly that Tanner McKee wouldn't have done a better job based solely off of this game because he didn't have many of the pieces that Jalen Hurts typically has on a game-to-game basis. Now, with that being said, I do not agree with ever giving Tanner McKee a chance to start outside of injury. So let's put that to bed. I 100% believe in Hurts, and I think that the conversation was ridiculous from the start. He never really every time he comes in, it's in this situation where it's the end of the year. He has a chance to light up a team that's not really that good. We usually have either something locked up, which this time again we had something locked up, but ultimately the 2 seed just was punted on. And then when there was no pressure to actually win the game, we trotted out some players that made sure that we wouldn't win the game. So one of the narratives it was the whole Tanner McKee situation. We also had the narrative of I don't have a picture of that, but we can just talk about it. We also had the narrative of put Jacorian Bennett in. He can't be let's see what he can do. Because Adoree Jackson just ain't it. I may have been guilty of that a time or two as well. Not seriously, just from the simple fact that I trust Vic Fangio and his decision making. I know that he puts the best player out there. So if it's somebody who's not on the field, it's one or two things. Either he's just not good enough, or the person that's starting in front of him is just better. Uh, at least on this team. So when we look at Jacorian Bennett and what he did this past Sunday against the Commanders, you come away from it saying, "Oh, no wonder, no wonder Vic didn't put him in there over Adoree Jackson." I'm sorry, I get it. Won't hit. Hey, zip it, log it, throw away the key. We don't need to hear it. So McKee put to bed. Jacorian Bennett put to bed. Ringo. I don't want to see Ringo no more this year. Not in a cornerback position. Now he does his thing on special teams. So gunner, I would allow him to still remain at the gunner, but when it comes to getting meaningful snaps as a DB, I'm good. I've seen all I need to see from Keely Ringo. And if he doesn't play another snap, I don't care if we in a victory formation on defense, which is basically the prevent defense. I don't care if we in that. I don't want to see him on the field. Put somebody else in. He's proven time in and time out that he just not good. He's just not good. He's had ample opportunity coming into this season to not only be the guy opposite of Quinyon Mitchell, but to basically, earn your shot, prove that you belong in this league. And if you showed out, you could have played your way into a contract. Well, guess what? He may not even be on the team next year. And then I don't know a Philly fan that would lose 1 week of wink of sleep over that. Hell, you got fans that want to get rid of him now. Um, I'm not there yet because I do think he is still valuable in the special teams unit. So that's his major role. I don't want to see Keely Ring go nowhere else. Yo,
What's going on?
what's good with you?
Chilling.
Hey, yeah, just chopping it up about this and this L before we change the chapter. Go ahead and drop your thoughts on how you felt about the game, how it turned out. Also, before you even go into that, your thoughts on should we arrest the players? Or did we make a mistake by arresting starters? All that.
I'm glad you said that. I'm gonna make me a little short talking about that. But anyway, um, as far as do I feel like we should have rested the players or not? Before the game even happened, I said that we should play the starters and try to get that 2 seed. Now, with that being said, it wasn't a scenario where we played the starters and we win, we in. It was scenario was we play our starters, we win. We still got to depend on the Detroit Lions to beat the Chicago Bears. I mean, was it
Mhm.
Chicago? Yeah, Chicago.
Mhm.
Um, so with that being said, that's what I would have done. But I also said I could see why Nick would rest the starters if he decided to, and he decided to rest the starters. So I can also see why he would rest the starters for many different reasons. Reason number one, you don't want to get nobody hurt. The obvious. You don't want to get nobody hurt. The most important thing here is winning your first playoff game. Whether you get the 2 seed or the 3 seed, you got to play 3 games to get to the Super Bowl. So either way, it wasn't gonna make too much of a difference. The only thing that was gonna make a difference between of is who we gotta play and where we play them at. So um I can see why you would prioritize resting the starters over getting a 2 seed. Like I said, it wasn't just a situation where we win and we in. And it wasn't a situation where we win, we got the 1 seed and we got a bye week. Now, if it's a situation where the 1 seed on the line, same scenario, same as that scenario, is just the 1 seed on the line instead of the 2 seed. I think that play the starters because there's more value on the one seed because you get a bye week.
What
And now
about
you
what
only got to
about
play.
if we didn't have to depend on nobody and it was just a win and you in type situation?
Dang, somebody was trying to call in, but yeah. So, like you were saying, the situation was we didn't have to depend on nobody. We just win and we in. So, if there was a situation, I think we would have played the starters in that situation as well. Now, I don't know that for 100% because I can also see why you would rest the starters in that scenario too. But we believe more that we can go out here and play with the starters and get the 2 seed. But at the same time, then you would have to weigh, is a 2 seed more valuable than keeping the players healthy? Because you had the risk of losing Jalen for a playoff game or maybe the whole playoffs. You had risk of losing Saquon or one of the wide receivers or offensive anybody, a starter. You had risk of losing a key starter for a playoff game or multiple playoff games. So I can see in that scenario why you would and wouldn't play a starter. Now I feel like it's almost 100% if they're 1 seed on the line. I feel like that's the only scenario I feel comfortable in saying I know Nick gonna play the starters. Now I still don't know that for a fact, but I do feel like at the 1 seed on the line in almost any circumstance other than we need two other things to happen to get in. I think we go for it. But yeah, so I don't have a problem with them resting. I didn't have a problem with them resting the starters. And I see there's a lot of people out there now that we got the 3 seed and we got to play San Fran. They making it seem like, I don't know, they making it seem like we got to go play doggone the best team ever. So, they got the 3 seed. They got to play the 49ers. They ain't been beat in 66 years. Like, bro, it's the 49ers. They barely got in the playoffs they damn self. So, I ain't really tripping on having to play the 49ers. Well, I ain't gonna say they barely got in because they had a chance to get the 1 seed, but damn, they hobbled. It ain't stopped them from winning games, but they don't want no smoke with Philly. And they been letting you know that. The players have been letting you know that. The fans have been letting you know that. They really I'm not saying that means anything because they still could win the game, but what I'm saying is they know what's up with Philly. You know what I'm saying? Especially coming into Philadelphia. Um, so I'm not really tripping on. I mean, a lot of people see the 49ers as a free kill. No, I don't. I don't. Like I said, I think they can still win the game. They're a formidable opponent, any given Sunday. But I will put my money on the Birds. But um, to me, outside of having a two seed and having two guaranteed home games, I don't even I kind of feel like the 49ers to me are easier, like they don't match up as well as I think Green Bay match up well with us. I think the 49ers, they got a great offense. Their defense ain't really hitting on that. I think Green Bay is all around. They got offense and defense. So if anything, maybe it wasn't in the cards for us to play Green Bay this time. The football guys, hey, y'all just get the 49ers. We're gonna if y'all I might have Green Bay for y'all in the next round, but right now, hey, get the 49ers. For whatever reason, we need to play them first, and that's how it's gonna play out. So I ain't really tripping on. I ain't tripping on that. And then what was the second question? Oh, how
No,
was that?
we're just talking about your thoughts on the game.
And my thoughts on the game. Um, I really Well, I say a couple things about it. As far as the win or losing the game, I don't really have no thoughts on. I don't really have no opinion, or I don't really feel no type of way. That's what I want to say. I don't really feel no type of way about the win or loss of the game, and we lost. So I don't really feel no what type of way about the loss. For that reason, when we saw that the backups was in, that was our like cue to be like, all right, this game don't. I mean, it mattered, but at the same time, it's like we ain't putting no stock into how really winning the game. Like we can go out here and win it with the backups, we go out here and win it, but we go out here and lose it, we lose it. We know what was up by putting the backups in. We know that was an option. So I didn't feel no type of way about it because it was a backups. Like I mean, I don't. You don't really know what to expect out of the back. Now I think the backups could have went out there and won the game. I think what really killed us. Now I'm gonna talk about the offensive line because they was a part of it. It was a lot of different things on offense as well. But I think what really ultimately killed us, I don't think the Washington really moved the ball on us, even with the backup defense in. I think what killed us was I don't even want to call them suspect corners, trash corners. What killed us was something I've been trying to say all season about Adoree Jackson and Keely Ringo. Now Adoree stepped this game up. But in this situation, it was Keely Ringo and Jacorian Bennett. And once they saw, I don't even know if it's once they saw, like it's like a lot of times this is always obvious, but teams don't never really do it. But if you got somebody who gonna either uh get most or they're gonna commit a penalty out there or whatever, I'm not attacking you on every play. Then
Every play.
I don't understand why it took them that long to start. They waited till the damn at the end of the game. Like, all right, we're gonna start going deep on these receivers. They're gonna commit a penalty or give up a catch. I'm like, damn. I kind of was down. If I wasn't an Eagles fan, I'd have been glad just because sometimes teams just don't do the obvious. Like they did what they're supposed to do. Like, all right, we gonna get down the field on this
I
one
think they
play.
did that because they ain't had no choice. Like that literally was the only thing that was working.
Right. Yeah, exactly. And you're right, because even when it was obvious, this like I said, it took them to the end of the game and still started to they should have been able to watch film and be like, oh, yep, this the move right here. It's like they was. It's like maybe they thought it was the move, and they was like, "Yeah, we're gonna keep it in our back pocket to the end of the game, so they don't fix." It was that we could have been able to fix. It was like that was it. Um, so I feel like somebody, like you said, is a situation where like that was the only thing they could do, and I feel like somebody that was actually smart was on the sideline and was like, "Hey, we probably should just like throw the ball deep on their corners. How?
Just
What
throw
about
it up.
that, coach? You think so?" He probably still was second guessing it. You know what I'm saying? Maybe it was the quarterback just was like, "I'm gonna just do this. I'm take it upon myself to do this because they ain't gonna call it." But I think they did what they're supposed to do. Outside of them doing that, I don't think they would have been able to like move the ball down the field. They definitely weren't gonna really be able to run. Wasn't nothing going outside of getting them corners to commit a penalty or something like that. So I think that's ultimately why we lost the game. But another reason why we lost the game is our offense. Now we put up 17 points, but offensive line was trash. Um, Tanner McKee was missing throws. What else was going on? Play calling, play calling was straight, but it was a few times I was like, bro, what kind of route? The same thing we've been saying all season. What kind of routes these wide receivers running? So I saw that a few times, but it was a combination of everything. But as far as us losing the game, I didn't really feel no type of way about it just because I didn't care if we played Green Bay or San Fran. It really didn't matter to me. The only reason why I wanted the 2 seed was not because of who we was gonna play, it was where we was gonna play them. I don't care if it was a 2 seed and we had to play the Rams, Seattle, whoever. Like whoever, I wanted the best seed. So if the Rams would have been the 7 seed or Seattle would have been the 7 seed, I still would have won that 2 seed. Um, but that's the only reason why I wanted the 2 seed. So it didn't matter to me whether we had to play Green Bay or San Fran. It was going to be a home game regardless. And I think we can beat both teams. Like I said, matter of fact, I think for that Green Bay would have been a harder out. But and I spoke on the offense. Let me say a couple of things about the defense real quick. We talked about the corners. I talked about the corners already, but man, Jalen Hunt out there doing this thing. It was we saw what's my dog name?
Trotter
Yeah,
Junior.
Trotter. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to think of. Trotter. Trotter was out. There you go. Jalen Hunt. Jalen Hunt was out there doing. Jalen Hunt been doing this thing all season, man. Look at Big Jordan Davis in the back. But yeah. So Trotter was doing his thing, man. The Axeman Junior. He was out there, man, run stopper, man. He the closest thing, in my opinion, on the team to N'Kobe Dean. Like they got the same build. They both great at stopping the run. We haven't seen Trotter in a whole lot of pass coverage, but he straight in pass coverage. We haven't seen him like consistently out there, but I believe he can do it. And what's crazy is I think it was last year. My guy from the top billing page, he pretty much had said that. He was pretty much saying that Jeremiah Trotter is another N'Kobe Dean, same body type, same everything or whatever. But I like Trotter Jr. It's just we got a great deep linebacker room right now.
It's the deepest room we ever had.
Yeah, I ain't really tripping on none of them guys. And what's gonna make it so great is next year when all these guys 2-3 years in, and it's really gonna be because a lot of these guys, because we really don't got to bring in really no new linebackers next year. We might have one or two new guys or something in there. But we really next year to be all guys who got at least probably 2 years under their belt. Um, I like the linebacker room. Trotter was doing his thing out there. Everybody pretty much was doing their thing out there on the field except for the corners. But I really wanted to highlight Jalen Hunt and Jeremiah Trotter. They was doing their thing out there.
I wanted to touch on your boy. Everybody been all of a sudden flipping on just because he quote unquote had a bad game.
Oh yeah.
Old Tanner, man. So obviously it hasn't been a great season from the offense in general. And then you got media and some of the fan base who probably didn't like Hurts anyway, who been toying around the idea of throwing Tanner in there and seeing if he could do a better job than Hurts been doing. How would you think of his performance?
Man, let me say this. I've been pissed off. I mean, I never got the whole put Tanner McKee in. Bruh, look, the people who saying put Tanner McKee in are basically trying to say it's Jalen Hurts' fault that the offense is like. And when I hear certain things, that let me know what type of individual I'm either listening to or talking to. Like that tell me right there, you don't know what you're seeing, you don't know what's going on, because Jalen has not been the problem. Now, has it been situations where Jalen has been the problem, where whether he missed a throw or interception or held on to the, yeah, that's been every quarterback in the league at one time or another. He was never gonna go 17 games and be flawless. Nobody has ever done it. Nobody will ever do it. It's more often than not, it has not been Jalen Hurts, and that's the type of situation you want to be in. It's not the time that it has been Jalen, it hasn't been consistently Jalen. But it has consistently been the offensive line, and it has consistently been play calling and play design. So the people who are calling for Tanner McKee, I don't get it, because they pretty much going off of he got in a game last year in a part of a game, and they feel like they saw enough that he can come in here and lead this team to two Super Bowls like Jalen did. I guess that's what they thinking, because that's what Jalen did. Um, Now I like Tanner McKee. I think Tanner McKee could be a starting quarterback in the NFL if he get with the right team and the right coaches. Now, I don't know that for certain. We had to see it play out. We haven't seen. It's different when you the starting quarterback, people scheming for you, and then boom, you get the 1 year on your belt. Now they got a whole year worth of film on you, so they got time to work. Try to stop you. It's different. We don't know what we would get out of Tanner McKee if he was a starting quarterback. But you also have people who, some of those same people, after that one game, now they didn't flipped on Tanner. You know what I'm saying? Now, I didn't flip on Tanner because I never wanted Tanner to be the starter, but I still think, like I said, I still think he could be a starter quarterback in the league. It's kind of good that people realizing that he ain't gonna go in and run the offense better than Jalen. Now he was out there with the backups. It probably looked a little bit different. He was out there with the starters, but um, this should have also showed you that his play calling, play is not outside him. He did miss some throws. He was throwing behind receivers, over receivers, but that's what happened when you ain't played all season. Then you get in the last game. He got in the last damn game, but we already know what Jalen is. Tanner McKee is a question mark, and some people willing to gamble on that. I don't know why. But I'm also not flipping on Tanner. Like I'm not gonna start saying that he trash based off one game. I'm not a 1 game sample size or 2 game. I'm not even a 1 season sample size guy. Like I need to see you for a couple seasons, unless you just go out there and just straight just was trash 17 games, look like you ain't have no hope. But I'm not really a 1 game sample size or small sample size guy. But I am a sample size enough for Jalen Hurts, where I don't never want Tanner McKee to be the starting quarterback over Jalen for the Philadelphia Eagles. Um, but I like Tanner. He great for what we got him for. He a backup that can come in and win a game if you need him to. He just folded in this situation, and we don't really see Jalen come in and fold. You know what I'm saying? We already imagine if Tanner McKee had got in and he had to play for the rest of, like, late in the season, y'all overhurts. They put Tanner McKee in, and now we going into this first playoff game right after this game with Tanner McKee as the starting quarterback.
Tragic. I'm shaking in my boots.
And then say we go out there, Tanner McKee the starting quarterback, we lose the game. The same people that was calling for Tanner McKee will be pissed off at Nick for starting a rookie quarterback in a playoff game. Why do we even have men? Nick need to be fired. Like, bruh, So I mean, it's hard for me to really take stock into a lot of stuff that people saying because they just saying anything. Like the fact that you even wanted him in, let me know that you don't know what you're watching, or you just don't. You're just not that bright.
Yeah, I think Tanner is serviceable. We don't know enough about him to say that yeah, he definitely need to start for such and such team. No, he's serviceable. As a matter of fact, he did just enough for us to get old Smitty his 1K this season. I think he might have got it on this throw because we ain't see him no more after this
Mm-hmm.
catch right here. So
Or one
um
K never covered.
so it's crazy because I think you dropped something in the chat, in our personal chat, about his stats over the first 5 years, and he
Yeah,
had like over 5,000
yeah.
yards and 30 some touchdowns. Just
Mm-hmm.
crazy. It's crazy that people still can look at him and say that he not a number one wide receiver because he's technically not one on this team. But for him to do and put up the numbers that he's putting up, not being the primary target, but not only not being the primary target in a run first offense.
Mm-hmm.
So that's, you basically are the third and fourth option every game. Um, and sometimes maybe even the fifth. And for him to always catch it, and it seemed like he only catch big catches. Like the more crazier, the more acrobatic, sideline contortion type catches, you can count Smitty in. And then when it comes time for one of the easy catches, he might drop one every now and then. But
Mm-hmm.
you can say that for any wide receiver around the league. I trust his hands probably more than I trust AJ's hands
Oh hell yeah.
in the clutch. So never really any question about whether he can or can't catch the ball. But I'm glad that they at least let my boy get his 1K before he got on out of there and got him some rest. But I wanted to talk about one more player that's just dog, and you already know who it is. Tank Bigsby.
Tank.
Now,
Tank mother Bisbee. Nah.
Tank had another hell of a game. It seemed like every time he get his opportunity, he make the most out of it. And I just would like to see him incorporated more into the offense. I
Yeah.
think his style of running, especially behind this version of our offensive line, is effective. Not to say that he better than Saquon, but it's one, a change of pace, and it just looked different when he on the field. So
Mhm.
I think it wouldn't even hurt for us to use them 50-50. Because obviously Tank can catch the ball too. So it's really one of them situations where whoever happened to be on the field get to run this set of plays or whatever. So I would like to see him incorporated. So give me your thoughts on Tank, not only how he did in this game, but really at this point we can kind of reflect on his season here as an Eagle.
Yeah. I agree with everything that you said. We should use them more. Especially around the goal line, short yard situation. And we can use him in other situations as well. Like you said, he can catch. He always come in and juice the offense up just by the style, the way that he run. Um, but I like to. I want him to come back. I hope. Hopefully, we can get him back for another year. Usually, it's hard. Like if you got somebody on a. Well, we traded for Tank, huh?
Yeah.
So I don't know like what kind of contract he got. So he might be back just based off his contract. But if he only got like 1 year left or something like that, a lot of times, at least here with Philly, I know a lot of those guys. We don't really bring them back. They don't. We don't end up bringing them back. It'll be a whole some other running backs or something in here. But hopefully, some way somehow, um, we get Tank back in this building. If it ain't for enough, but for another year, like he could be he could be what we would like what we had in game because we had Gainwell for a couple of years. Like and he was always behind whoever. I would like Tank to just be there
Hey,
as staple.
so he currently on a 4-year deal, which is up. Okay, so this probably the last year of the deal because it say it's up 2026. So we might have him next year just off of his contract alone. As it said, under contract through 2026 season with a $1.4 million cap hit in 2020. Oh, that's pennies. So yeah, he probably got one more year with us. If anything, we might even extend him if he down to stay.
Yeah. So hopefully that means he here for another year, cause I would like Bigsby back in the building. But yeah, I agree with everything that you said. I like him. We should incorporate him more. He get offense juiced up. I would like to see what he looked like with a whole off season and off season and camp with the team and stuff like that, and how he come back next year running like as a Super Bowl champion. You know what I'm saying? So
Mm-hmm.
I like you said, good change of pace back. He bring the boom when he in there. He hard to bring down. He
And
juice
he
the
got
offense
juiced.
up. So I'm with it, man. I'm with it.
Yeah, man. So before we get
And we
into
he might end up being like, because it seemed like when we go into the, it seemed like every year when we go into the playoff, it always be like some. It's kind of like a new season, and it's kind of like it always be a couple players that wouldn't really like flashing in the regular season. They just be flashing the whole playoff every game. So we saw that last year out of a few players. Like, damn, they good. They getting off in the playoffs. So it could be Bigsby. We give them the opportunity.
yeah, but Burke definitely skipped it off in the playoffs with that
Mm-hmm.
first big hit that just
Mm-hmm.
really we ain't looked back from then on. But we gotta break down this matchup with the 49ers. But first, we gotta have a word from my sponsor. Introducing Black Diamond Concentrate from Diamond Collection, a premium mineral supplement crafted to elevate your hydration experience. Formulated with no dyes, sweeteners, or artificial flavors, Black Diamond Concentrate is 100% natural. Just 2 dropfuls added to a 16.9-ounce bottle of water can transform the way you hydrate. Order today at poweredbytmb.com and use code DSP at checkout to receive a 20% discount. That's code DSP. All right, let's get back to the show. Oh, hold on, Trap. Threw me off guard. All right, here we go. Welcome back to the Down South Philly show, brought to you by Sports Lounge Media. So we already talked about the last matchup against the Commanders, which really felt like a preseason game. So now that that's over with, we locked into the 3 seed. We got San Fran coming to Philly on Sunday at 4:30. Give me your thoughts on that matchup. You already talked a little bit about it, but tell me how you feeling about it. You worried? Is it anything? Did we drop the bag? What's up with this one?
Tell you how worried I am about the 49ers. Hey, I'm sleep on them. Nah, I was playing. But nah, I think like I was saying earlier, I think they can all they've been pulling out games all season. Like, somehow, some way they've been finding ways to win games. Um it's a lot of teams. We've been finding ways to win games. I don't feel like they got like 0% chance or nothing like that. But if you just look at, now it's a lot of more going to it, but if you just look at it from the standpoint of our defense, regardless of who we played this season, ain't nobody just been going up and down the field on us. And they got a great offense. They shouldn't be able to go up and down on the field on us just like nobody else been able to go up and down the field on us. We just don't have that type of defense. Now, offensively, um, for the Eagles, we've been shaky. Now, when we ain't shaky, like we on. So that's kind of usually on Jalen, the offensive line, and the play caller. Now, if somehow, some way, the football guys see it for us to be clicking, they ain't got a damn chance because we know what the defense gonna do. But it's really on that. It's really kind of gonna be on what our offense do. We know what the defense gonna do. Like I said, I don't feel like the 49ers just got a 0% chance, but the way that they win this game is if we go out there and beat ourselves. Like I don't think they can beat us. I think we can beat ourselves. I don't think they got enough to beat us. Now they got it. They got enough to go out there and keep themselves in the game long enough for us to beat ourselves. Hey, we just got to hold it in the road until they do something stupid. Now if they smart, they go out there and do something like that and try to do something like that. But I don't think they can just come take it. I think, and one thing we played 49ers enough for me to know, and I watched the 49ers long enough for us and for me to kind of know. But they always have this thing where like they got some dumb protection call and they trying to get the ball deep down the field and they getting their quarterback smack. It happened all the Purdy was just laying on the ground last game, and that's probably what was going on. I can't remember the play. I remember the hit, but I can't remember the play. But they always got some max protection or something going on where the tight end blocking somebody he shouldn't be blocking or some. I don't know. They be giving up the goods back there, and they quarterbacks be getting smashed. Now we can always count on them to have. We can always count on Shanahan to call some foolishness. What he think a great damn play design, and he done left damn Purdy out to dry, especially against this defensive line. So we gotta take advantage of those opportunities. Because they gonna be there. Now if you give him time in the pocket to actually get that play off, whoever he throwing it to probably open. Um, just because that's how they scheme their offense, and it took so long to develop because he waiting for them to get open. Um, so we gotta take advantage of those opportunities when Purdy back there holding the ball forever. Um, this I think a lot of come down to really getting penetration up the middle. If Jalen Carter can do his thing in the middle and disrupt that up the middle, because Phillips, Jalen Hunt, and Nolan, they're gonna pretty much do their thing on the edge. Another key factor in this game gonna be we can't allow Christian McCaffrey to play above the X's and O's. Like they might have some BS call, but if Christian McCaffrey out there breaking tackles and doing stuff like that, playing above whatever the play call is and the scheme, and playing to the next level, like he can take over a game. So we can't allow we can't allow the run game to get going. We can't allow Christian McCaffrey to just be out there doing Christian McCaffrey things because that's the type of player where it's like we can be in the perfect defense, but a broken tackle here and there, and he gone. Like he did it against us in the NFC Championship. We had the play call, boom, tap boot. Dude came up to make the tackle, he broke it, he gone to the crib. So I think that's the biggest thing. We can't allow Christian McCaffrey to play above the X's and O's, and the biggest thing they got going outside of that is Kittle. Um, We can't allow Kittle to be out there making key blocks and catches down the field because that's somebody else they use to get going. And then just they wide receiver straight up. I mean, they've been winning games with them all season. They can still do it, but I mean, they shouldn't be able to just consistently be getting off on us. Like it's got to be like between the corners. I don't think they'll consistently get off. Um, Yeah, I got us leaving out of there with a W. I don't think they match up well against us. We would have to go out there and beat ourselves.
Yeah. I It's so many ways I can attack it, but I mean, I agree with everything you said. For one, they banged up, so it's gonna be no Warner there, no Bosa to provide a pass rush. When we look on the offensive side of the ball, Pearsall dealing with something. Trent Williams, they held him out because he was banged up too. He probably gonna play. Both of them probably gonna play in this playoff game, but I say all that just to say that they're not at full strength. So and they just played a hell of a game, really two, but a hell of a game against Seattle, in which man, Seattle was out there sticking. So them boys already gonna be coming in. So we coming in off basically a bye where our starters ain't get touched, so they was able to gather themselves a little bit and they coming in fresh on their home turf. So I feel real good about that. And then, like you said, the key to any 49ers team really is to stop McCaffrey. If we stop McCaffrey, that's gonna break down the whole offense because everything that they run is off of that. So if the run when McCaffrey is working, that's gonna open up boots. That's gonna open up play action. That's gonna open up the middle of the field for Kittle to get off. If we shut that down, then Purdy get a little nervous. He get a little skittish. And once we get him out his pocket, out his body, that's when he started giving it up. So the blueprint is to stop McCaffrey first and foremost, which we more than capable of doing. I have no worries at all about our defense. It's the offense. Like you said, we've been shaky all year long at best. It's been some times where we've looked good for a quarter, a half, maybe even a series in a game, but we have yet to really put it together for 4 quarters against a formidable opponent. So that remains to be seen. Hopefully, with when you consider the fact that the 49ers defense isn't a great unit and they banged up, that could be the perfect storm for us. But we haven't really seen this team take advantage of even bad defenses on a consistent basis. So I'm hopeful that could happen. Maybe we can get it going with Saquon and Tank and take the pressure off KP. Boy out there sleep. But I'm still confident in the game. Don't get me wrong. I believe that much in our defense. Like even if we don't get it going on offense like we haven't all year long. Like I feel like our defense, not I feel like our defense has kept us in every game this year. So it's no reason to believe that they wouldn't do the same this year, this game at home. So I think they make enough plays. If even they might just come out and be dominant. They could be dominant from whistle to whistle. But even if they don't, I feel like because Shanahan offenses can be hard to stop sometimes, especially when he get it going. So um we shut down McCaffrey and make them one dimensional. They'll be just like any other offense, and really it'll be up to us on our offense to make them pay for it. So give me your keys to victory in this one on what it's gonna take for us to get this dub in the link.
Man, before I get into that, I just want to let y'all know right here, right now, I got a feeling. Ooh, that night gonna be a good night. Hey, I don't think they gonna. Hey, them boys gonna. They might not score. I'm gonna give them. I don't even do no score predictions. They probably won't score more than 17 points. It might get uglier than that. I feel like that game gonna get ugly, man. I feel it in my bones. I just feel like they just gonna come in there and everybody gonna be like, "Where was the 49ers?"
Uh-huh.
They
Uh-huh.
had to play Green Bay. It's gonna be one of them tight games. That's how dirty we gonna do it. That's how dirty we gonna do them. And I don't even be talking like that. I just feel it in my bones. Just like I felt that damn Ravens kicker was gonna miss that shit. But hey, what was the question? What you had said? Tell them what now? I forgot what we was talking.
Keys to
Oh,
victory.
keys to victory. Yeah, I was supposed to get on the keys to victory. But yeah, keys to victory. Like I said, stop Christian McCaffrey. We need we can control this whole game with our defensive line. We can control this whole game if we don't allow Christian McCaffrey to get off in the run game. We don't allow Purdy to sit back there all day in the pocket. Excuse me. That's it. They ain't gonna have nothing going. They ain't gonna have nothing going. Trent, what's his name? Trent Williams. He gonna be out there getting abused. I just feel it in my bones. He ain't gonna be. They gonna be like, they should just left Trent Williams on the sideline. He's gonna be out there doing that. Um, and another thing that's gonna be going against them too is like sometimes even if you was gonna win the game, when you already come in there not believing, you looking for something to go wrong. I think they're gonna be out there looking for something to go wrong, and they gonna be like, "Damn, I knew it." And we're gonna take their heart and just put them where they think they should be out the playoffs. But keys to victory, defensive line. Hell, I might as well go offensive line because I feel like even on offense, I kind of been saying like I feel like worse than the play calling has been the offensive line because if the offensive line hold up, I feel like Jalen can make the play right. Even if it's some BS called, I feel like Jalen can make the play right. So I'll have to go offensive line and defensive lines for those two reasons. Like I said, I think Shanahan called a lot of stuff where it's like, and then like you said, they whole offensive scheme is basically off the run game. They do everything off the run game, everything off a couple of different looks. They do everything off of that. I think we're ready for it. We didn't seen it. We didn't seen all these pretty good offenses this year. All these pretty good quarterbacks. Um, I don't really think it's too much that we haven't seen between this year and last year. With our defense and Fangio, they've seen it all. So I think he ready. I think he gonna have the guys ready. Offensively, like I said, we need an offensive line to step up. And man, hopefully Patulo come out here and just call. Like I want to get to the end of this playoff run and being like, damn, we need to keep Patulo. Like hopefully that's the what's going on by the end of this playoff run when we in the Super Bowl. Hold that trophy. Everybody like, man, we need to keep Patulo. He turned it around in the playoffs or whatever. But I think the key to the video is it's gonna be in the trenches, man. Offensive line, defensive line. It's hard to really say anything else. Also, it's hard to really say anything about play calling because you can't really like. That's nothing you can really.
It
But
is what it is at this point.
yeah, it is what it is at this point. And I ain't even gonna sit here and act like I'm expecting us to as much as I've been saying that, I don't really see. I ain't gonna really see him act like I'm feeling us to be like a whole new team. And well, we probably gonna be the same team we've been all season, finding a way to win, and I'm cool with that. Um, and I think that's probably gonna be the case in the next two games. But this 49ers game, I think we're gonna bust their head, and everybody gonna expect that in the next two games, and we just gonna find a way to win in them two games and get to the Super Bowl. But we coming out of here with a dub, man. It's the keys of victory is the offense. Hey, let me say this because I always say this, and I ain't been saying it as much lately. Get Goddard the ball, man. If we can get Goddard the ball, like if we can start our passing game, making sure we get Goddard the ball, like using a tight, even Calcaterra, we using a tight end. And of course, we're gonna be trying to get the run game going. I ain't tripping on that. And I would say stop trying to run the ball up the middle, but at this point, it is what it is. We ain't stop. We ain't gonna stop now. But I would say just continue to try to get the run game going. But I think this season has been whenever we can get Goddard going, we can get the offense going. So I say that if I had to key in on one thing, I would say get Goddard going, and everything else will follow.
Give me an impact player.
Impact player on offense, Dallas got it. I'm going Dallas got it, goddamn. And on defense, I'm gonna say I got two people in mind who I want to call. You know what? I'm tripping. I was gonna say I had Jalen. For some reason, I got Jalen Phillips and Nolan both in my mind. Something gonna happen on that side. But as I'm getting ready to say that, someone was like, dumbass, N'Kobe Dean coming back.
The hall monitor.
No monitor, baby. So I'm gonna
Mhm.
go N'Kobe Dean and Dallas got it.
Yeah, we're gonna need Dean to come back with his vintage play recognition because it don't get no better than this running back we facing this week. He the
Yeah.
best in the business. He can make you miss. He honestly one of the most dangerous weapons, maybe outside of a Bijan Robinson or a Saquon Barkley. He can beat you by himself, and they use him to the fullest. Let me see what 808 saying.
I like no N'Kobe Dean because like you always say, hey, anytime they trying to do a screen, anything, he already be
He
over there
on it.
waiting on them. Like, oh, shit, I'm gonna go over here. They about to do this screen.
And he attacked the line of scrimmage. So even if
Mm-hmm.
it's not a screenplay, if it's just a run, he meeting. If he not meeting the running back in the hole, he beating him to the hole, and that's something
Mm-hmm.
that you don't see when he not in because your high
Right.
just ain't got there yet.
Right.
But 808 says we gonna attack the Niners back. Oh, I forgot about that. So we already know about Fred Warner being gone. Mentors went down and Bethune went down. So they gonna be on whoever else is behind them. Now, with that being said, that was the same thing with the Bears. The Bears had they was down to their like third and fourth string linebackers, and it didn't matter because we just didn't take advantage of it. But his full comment says we're gonna attack the Niners backers with our pass game and run game. Niners backers cannot guard Dallas. And that was the one. And you thinking about the backers that was healthy. We don't even know who the backers are that's gonna be out here Sunday. Luckily, our backers can guard Kittle. Yeah, I'm hoping that it don't even get to Kittle. Cause if we shut down McCaffrey, then we're gonna be on everything. Cause we got two of the best backers in the biz in Bond and the Kobe Dean. So I really ain't worried about Kittle because he really ain't it really ain't much they can do if we own. We seen the way our defense been playing since the bye week. We already been playing playoff football for a few weeks, better than a few weeks now. So I like that matchup as well. So I gotta agree with you on the impact players. Um, I really want this to be what I feel and what I want gonna be two different things because I want this to be a Tank Bigsby game too. I want him to get some burn, and I feel like his style of running can really like break this game open for us. With
Lean on him early.
how physical he is. So if we do get him the ball, he definitely gonna do something with it because he ain't let us down yet.
If anything,
I
he can go out there and soften them up for a doggone Saquon. Let's say Tank go out there
no, they
and
ain't.
soften them up.
I ain't even know Kazil was available.
Yeah, I did. Well, did I? Or did I? I feel like I don't know. I think I was saying a while he was available, but for some reason I feel like he had damn went to go sign damn.
It always says I can accept Kittle getting his yards, but the main thing is to stop McCaffrey in the pass and run game. Yeah, that's the key. That's the key right there. Stop him. We already broke down this matchup, but as you know, we just got through with Black Monday. And it's leaked over into Tuesday at this point, but when we talk about the coaches that's out of there, I think before the clock hit 000, they got the Falcons got rid of Raheem Morris just that quick. I think he wasn't even allowed to go back in the locker room. But when we talk about coaches that's up out of there, gotta go Raheem Morris, Kevin Stefanski from the Browns, Pete Carroll from Vegas, Jonathan Gannon from Arizona. Which I'll be honest, I didn't see that coming. I didn't think they was gonna let him go so soon. Um, we already knew Matt Eberflus days was numbered in Dallas as the defensive coordinator. Washington with the double whammy. They got rid of Cliff and DeWitt.
Mm-hmm.
Or DeWitt, Joe Witt. Um and there's one more. Harbaugh. Harbaugh just got released maybe a couple hours ago. And I'm sure it's probably one or two more that I'm forgetting, but those like the big ones. I think the biggest I don't know if it's necessarily a shock because we knew it was a possibility that Harbaugh was gonna be gone if the
Mm-hmm.
season didn't end up going. I think it was a little bit of expectations because coming into this season, a lot of people had them as Super Bowl contender, AFC championship or better, Super Bowl or bust type team. And they've been knocking on the door for the past 4 or 5 years with Lamar. So for them to not even make the playoffs, especially in the season where you got Mahomes not in the playoffs, Joe Burrow missing another playoff, really the only big name quarterback is Josh Allen, and that Bills team is probably the worst since they've been contenders. So I feel they probably feel like this was a missed opportunity. Came down to a kick. But give me your thoughts on Harbaugh and how they let him go.
I just want to say the Bills, they ain't contenders, they chicken tenders. Nah, but Harbaugh, I was listening to Nightcap a few weeks ago, and they was talking about Shannon was saying he think that he was like, I don't advocate for nobody losing their job, but it's probably time for a new head coach in Baltimore, and that was a few weeks ago. Like nobody was even really talking about it like that, but he out of there. Um, I don't know, like I think you had asked me the other day, you think they gonna fire Harbaugh? I was like, I think they probably give him one more year, but I could see why they would fire him too. He been there for a while, and I mean, you ain't got it done. You ain't got
We
it done.
fired Andy, so if we can fire Andy, anybody can go.
Exactly. It's like it ain't good enough just to just keep being in the playoffs. Like, all right, bet if that's what you're gonna do, then that's dang near like losing all the time because we just keep getting to the same spot. You can't get us over the hump, so we gotta go get somebody else. And how about gonna get a job anyway? Wherever he
Oh
want to,
yeah.
any one of these teams he want to go to, they gonna hire him. Like he really got his pick if he just go somewhere now and do an interview. I can't see nobody not hiring him. It's up to him what if he want to be a head coach this year or not, this coming year or not. But so it ain't, I can't say it surprised me. I guess I kind of saw that one going. I can see why they would have kept him, but I feel like he would have been on the hot seat for sure on another season. But it was crazy. It was what's crazy for me is to see the way that they talk about the Ravens, and then last year when they got Derrick Henry, everybody was acting like that was the best move, even over us getting Saquon. That question was going on a lot. Which one you think is the best move is going to make the biggest impact? Saquon to Philly or Derrick Henry to the Ravens? Everybody said Derrick Henry to the Ravens, and they still came up short. 2 years with him, we went straight to the Super Bowl. So it's crazy to see them say that because had Jalen been in the same situation, if he had been on that same exact team, they'd be like, "Well, they got Derrick Henry, he still couldn't get it done, or whatever." So it's crazy to see. It's crazy to see that play out, and nobody talking about it. But I can't say I saw that coming, but I also can't say I didn't feel like it was not gonna happen.
808 says Harbaugh gonna get a job by the end of the week. He ain't gonna
Yeah.
be on the market long.
Yeah, if he want
I
to.
can see
Yeah.
that. I can see. So tell me this though. Steelers go one and done. They letting go of Tomlin.
Hey, I kind of feel like it's coming to an end for Tomlin too. I kind of felt like, dang, I probably I probably, if you would have asked me, is the Pittsburgh gonna let Tomlin go, or is doggone the Ravens
Ravens.
gonna let Harbaugh go? And I had to pick one. I probably would have picked Tomlin only because I don't, these last few years, man, it just been. I kind of just been like, what the hell is they doing? Like they last year who they had a quarterback last year?
Exactly.
Russ. They had Russ
Rustin
last
Field.
year. Yeah, Fields, it was looking crazy, and then I kind of felt like they was crazy from going away from Fields last year and not having him this year. Nah, some people probably feel like it's cool because they seen what he did with the Jets, but that don't mean that's what he would have did with
That's the
the
Jets.
with the
Don't
exactly
nobody get off with the Jets.
did with. So I feel like, and then boom, you gotta understand the Ravens sent. I mean, the Steelers sent back over there looking at the Ravens got rid of Harbaugh. They probably like, shit, we probably could get rid of Tomlin. He don't get to this AFC Championship or Super Bowl. That's
Hey,
probably
what if they just switch coaches?
that'd be crazy. That'd be crazy. That's some stuff like the Giants. That's some stuff like the Giants
Go
or the
Washington.
Washington would do. They love getting ex coaches and players from Philly. Um, so I don't know if the Ravens and the Steelers would do something like that, but I can see the Tomlin getting up out of there if they I dang don't even want to say if when they, because I feel like Texas is about to put their head, but man, they
Yeah,
about to have
they gone
doggone Aaron Rodgers out there looking like a fool.
like
That
Brett Favre.
defense,
He gonna be
oh
looking
my
like
god,
Brett Favre
oh
against the Saints.
they don't got Rodgers ain't got a chance.
It's
The
about to
only
be Bounty Gate #2.
the only little sliver of daylight they got is DK, and I dang near feel like they ain't gonna be able to get the ball to him.
Nah, cause he
Um,
gonna be wanting to steal off on the crowd more than the players.
so I mean, he gonna be his only hope is getting the. I don't even think he's gonna have time to really be consistently getting the ball off. But his only hope is really getting the ball to DK and five move. And they need another wide receiver, and I just don't think their offensive line even gonna be able to hold up long enough that it wouldn't even probably matter because it's been a few games I've seen this season. It was just like Rodgers was getting toe out the frame, like I don't know what was going on, but and not only might they lose this game one and done, it could be ugly. So imagine they go out there and get the draws beat off on them, get their eyes beat in, like Shannon be saying. Man, Tomlin gone, bro. Now if they keep him, would I be shocked? No, but and somebody who like Tomlin, one of my favorite coaches, to me is like, what the hell have you been doing these last few? It's time to get a new coach in Pittsburgh, bro. Like, cause
Yeah,
he keep doing the same thing every year. He
it's
keep getting these
stale. It's stale.
yeah, keep getting these old. You keep you keep having a great defense. This year the defense haven't been what it's been the past few years, but he keep having a great defense, an old quarterback, and one wide receiver. Like they got the same recipe every year, bro. Y'all not gonna do nothing. Like, and it's been like that since what you call it last few years. Roethlisberger last few
Hmm.
years. Like yeah, it's time to get a new coach in there, man. Like you said, it's still they doing the same thing every year. Like, bye, Mike.
Yeah, just
Long as he don't
hopefully.
come to, don't nobody in the NFC East need a coach, do
Yeah, the Giants.
they?
That I was just about to go to that because the Giants they just got rid of Dayball, so they be
ah,
looking, and they got a
and then
young
they
core.
got Jackson Dart. I can
They
see
got
them.
Dart, they got
I can,
Scatterbo, they got Neighbors, and their defense is straight. So
I
it's
can
not the
see.
worst. It's not the worst job in the league.
I don't know if I see Tomlin going there, but
Harbaugh,
I was about to say I can see either Harbaugh going there, or I can see them maybe trying to hire Kingsbury.
I can see Cliff going there, and I would take Cliff. I would take Cliff in a minute
Yeah,
over them
I
two
think I think
for
that'll
the
be two good.
Giants.
I think that'll be a good move for the Giants, either Harbaugh or Cliff Kingsbury. That's what I would be looking at because I just feel like they'll pair up well with Dart.
Yeah, I don't want Tomlin in the division. Like, if it's anybody that I don't want out of them three, it's Tomlin. I don't want him in the division because even if he don't get that team, they gonna be much better
Right.
than they've ever been. Even if they don't go to a Super
Yeah,
Bowl,
just from
a
his
coaching standpoint.
leadership, just from
Yeah,
his leadership in the building, like on that standpoint, like he ain't gonna be on. Cause I mean, Dayball was just he was on some foolishness. Like,
yeah.
he was straight, but it's
His
like towards
first
the
couple
end,
years
yeah, bro. It seemed like he started to unravel. Like, not only as like it seemed like he started to unravel as like a person. Like, it was just too
this
big,
year, this
like
year he went crazy.
yeah, like even a little bit last year. I'm like, oh nah, Dayball look like he might be like he like like what's the joint with Saint Franklin Saint
Oh, you talking about Snowfall?
Snowfall at the end when he started doing drugs. I
Yeah.
think the Harbaugh was looking like that. I was like, oh nah, Harbaugh on that stuff. Franklin Saint was on that. but yeah, I can see one of them going there. Now they might not see it that way, and then at the same time, the Giants not really a well-run organization, so they probably can't even see doggone the sky for the clouds. But um, yeah, I would if I was them, I would be looking at Harbaugh or Cliff Kingsbury. I think because Kingsbury know the division. He'd have been in it 2 seasons, and not only do he know the division, he know one of your rivals really well in doggone the team he was. It's kind of like Dan Quinn uh
Washington.
going to Washington. So if I that's another reason why I would get him. He know the division well. I know he good with quarterbacks. He gonna be able to get some out the quarterback. If I was them, I probably would look at him, and I probably would be looking at Harbaugh because I've seen what Harbaugh just done his whole career, and then on top of that, I seen what he did with the Ravens. So, and any of that is a step up from where they at. So even if either one of them coaches came in and implemented what they do, they'll be a much better team than they probably been the last few years. That the only thing that would be in their way is the Eagles, baby.
I don't want this to happen, and I hate to even say it, but if they mess around and do something like
And
hire
I know
Cliff
what you about
as
to say.
the head
I
coach
already know what you about to say.
and then hire Brian Flores as the
Oh, okay.
defensive coordinator,
Thought you was gonna say hire oh boy as a defensive coordinator. Because when he a defensive coordinator, the Falcons coach.
Morris, I wouldn't be worried about his defense. It's Brian Flores with that defense that's in with the Giants. That would be nasty. Hell, Brian Flores in Dallas it'll definitely be better than what they had. But to stay in the division,
He ain't with the Vikings no more.
I don't know.
Oh,
I think he, and it probably make more sense for him to be a head coach next anyway. Um, than the lateral move like just coming to the Giants, but um, Washington. So they got hit with a double whammy. They got rid of their offensive coordinator and their defensive coordinator. So you already know what that means. We already know from firsthand experience how detrimental it is to have a carousel of offensive coordinators, especially with a young quarterback like Jaden Daniels. But my question to you is, was year one detrimental to their overall success in Washington?
Thurman Washington.
Like them going all the way to an NFC championship. Did
Yeah,
that in a way mess them up?
yeah, yeah. From the state. So from a couple standpoints. Now, I think it messed them up from just from last year to this year. So they could they could turn things around next year. But as far as this year, because I already knew, and I said this at the end. I said it at the end of last season. I was like, they're gonna be thinking that they can make it back to at least another NFC championship, or they're gonna be thinking that they can make it to either the Super Bowl. And I said they probably won't even make the playoffs. And I knew that was gonna be the case because of one, it's hard as hell to do any damn way, regardless of how good your team is. Nobody consistently doing it. We don't see too many teams consistently doing that outside of just a few. The Eagles, 49ers,
Chief.
Kansas City.
That's it.
No, it's just that's about it. So I didn't think that Washington was gonna be able to do that. One, from who they had personnel, coaching wise. You got a rookie quarterback who just went this far. And then not only did I think, they weren't gonna be able to do it just because it's hard to do, but the way they was winning games last year, it wasn't like they was just balling. They was sneaking wins in,
Hmm.
especially in the regular season. They was lucking up winning games. Like they was coming back at the end of the game, in the games and stuff like that. Like I said, kind of like the Bears was doing this season. Um, I feel like they was just doing a little bit of that. I do feel like the Bears, to me, this Bears team look better than last year's Washington team, but um, in the same way, they kind of just been winning games last minute at the end. They've been coming back at the end, just like the Bears been coming back at the end of games this year, or just holding there long enough just to get a last minute touchdown or something in. But I think just like we seen how the Bears looked last year, and they kind of put them in the position to be this way. Now they got to get a new head coach and stuff, but it was like a growth process. It wasn't just they came in and did what they did last year, and
Right.
expecting them to do it again. It was like we seen what Caleb and offense and everything was looking like last year. Here's where we go from that. When you go all the way to the NFC Championship in your first year, like I said, the expectations was to get back to that or a Super Bowl. And we already knew that wasn't gonna happen. At least I did. I was like, nah, there's no way. Like I said, the way that they was winning games last year, and then what they did in the offseason, I didn't see them make any really significant moves that I felt like was going, all right, now they're gonna be able to get back to it. Because they went and got Debo. I wasn't really tripping on that. I was like, and then when I seen they weren't paying Terry and they was taking a long time, I was like,
Mm.
that's gonna be an issue because he ain't got the. Not only did he not get to practice with the team, but and not have that chemistry with the quarterback, but he probably gonna come back and get injured because for whatever reason when players hold out and they'll go to camp, they always come back and get injured.
Every
Um,
time.
every time. So and that's exactly what happened to him. He barely played this season. He was out there looking like Mike Evans. But
Hmm.
so I knew that was gonna be a reason. Um then you gotta think of the division that you in. You ain't gonna beat the Eagles out for the winning division. Um and I didn't look at Jaden Daniels the way that everybody else looked at him last year. Now I don't think he trash, but I didn't think he was like a top five. Top five. Yeah. I'm like, oh, they in for a
Off
rude
one
awakening.
season?
All one season. I was like, oh, they in for a rude awakening season two. Um, he ain't gonna be that. And then you gotta think about it, and then you got that's another thing. In your rookie season, you got all the way to the NFC Championship. You know how much pressure that is. Now you got to try to play up to certain standards. You gonna. I just knew it was gonna be too much for the whole team. Like all that was too much for them. And then they not on top of that, they didn't even have the personnel to do what they wanted to do. So
And
I wasn't.
then injuries hit him hard.
Injuries hit them. And then that's another thing that people fail to realize when you trying to do the same thing. A lot of times, you're not gonna be as healthy as you was. This players not gonna be playing like they played the season before. All the stuff the little lucky stuff that you got last season, you probably not gonna have that same luck again. You gotta actually be good in certain places. That luck was helping you out last year. So, um, yeah. So I do think it. I do think their success last year hurt them this year. Cause it wouldn't, cause like had they went out and just kind of did what they did and either missed the playoffs or just won like a game and then lost that doggone maybe
Just
lost
had
the
an okay season.
just had an okay season, lost the first game or something like that, but or not even just made the playoffs and then they would have had somewhere like let's say he did all pretty much everything he did last year and then they ended up missing the playoffs. They would have had a lot more to look forward to this year. Like we was right there. We almost made the playoff. Jaden Daniels was looking good. And they would have been in a different headspace, probably would have made some different moves. I also think them getting to the NFC Championship, they thought some of the people they should have kept. I mean, they some of the people that they kept, they thought they should have kept them, which they probably should have let some of them old people. They out there grabbing more old people. So
Mm-hmm.
I think that because if you miss the playoffs, you probably like, all right, boom, let's get rid of Bobby Wagner. Let's get rid of some of these other whole head Zach Ertz. Okay, so I think it hurt them because it fooled them. They thought they had something that they didn't, and now they see. So they probably gonna make a lot of moves this all season, and they
They
probably they
basically got to
probably beat
start over.
they probably win 7, 8 games next year.
We already know firsthand how hard it is to be successful with one new coordinator, let alone two. But you can get by. All right. So say if they kept Cliff and they was gonna get rid of Witt anyway, because I mean he wasn't even calling plays by the time
Yeah,
the
right.
end of the season was. So say if they just kept Cliff and had to get a new defensive coordinator,
That's what I would
I
have did.
think they would have had a better chance of a successful season at that point. Now, not to say that they can't still have one. It's
Right.
just harder. We see it with Detroit. Detroit didn't even make the playoffs because I mean it's just hard to do. We made the playoffs with two new coordinators, but we also had a hell of a roster that can make the playoffs no matter who calling the plays.
And I think at the same time, I think a lot of people it's underrated how sharper than the summer. I think
All
it's
cut.
underrated. I think it's underrated how important coaching is. Like some people just be like, just like you said, they be looking at our roster and be like, man, they should be playing, but anybody can coach their team. Or they should be playing better. Nah, coaching is very important. Like if we could have the same roster and completely like miss the playoffs this year. We had different coaches. Like same thing with that 23 season. I think if we have Fangio as the defensive coordinator that year, I think that team go to the Super Bowl
For sure.
just with a different defensive coordinator. Um, so coaching matters. A lot of people sleep on coaching. We see the same thing with quarterbacks around the league. We saw what's my dog name back up for the 49ers?
Oh, Mac Jones.
Mac Jones. Mac Jones go to San Fran, he looked
Light
like
it
a
up.
different quarterback. Now we did see Mac Jones look good in New England the first couple of years, but Bill messed that up doing all that stupid stuff. That Mac Jones was supposed to be the quarterback for the Patriots still, if he would have had the right coaches.
Now,
Look at
Era was different though, because as much trash as we like to talk about Chip, we were successful. He won
yeah,
the. He won. He had us competitive. His thing was they gave him too much power, and in them giving him too much power, he abused it. He got rid of Shady. He got rid of
Deshaun Jackson.
Deshaun Jackson. Got rid of Michael Vick. So I mean, I think he just got too much power right out the gate, and that ended up being his own
Yeah,
demise.
he thought all the success was just purely on him and his
Right.
scheme, and it wasn't the personnel. Like Shady and Deshaun Jackson, two of the best players in the league, ain't out here doing something. And
In
Vic,
they prime.
so yeah, that situation was a little bit different. But I can see where you're
I
going with
get
that.
your point though, yeah.
Yeah, I can see where you're going with that. But we seen that with a lot of my boy in Seattle. What's my dog?
Sammy D.
Sam, he done went to two new teams. Hey, he out there, and then sometimes it's just maybe you need to go somewhere for a while. Like Mac Jones, like boom, he done went out here to San Fran. Now he's straight. He goes somewhere else. He done already probably got the coaching that he needed and see the game differently. Now he could get with a coach that might not be Shanahan, but he see the game different. It might work out. It may not. He might need. Sometimes you got to be in a certain scheme or something.
In
But
a certain system.
sometimes players just go to a certain coach and then they get the coaching they need and then they can go anywhere and get off. And I saw somebody talking about dang, who was it? Oh, it was I think I was watching the nightcap and they was talking about somehow they got on the conversation of just saying that some players are so great they don't have to play in certain schemes. And I think one that depends on the position and sometimes I think people are disregarding the fact of what happened to them early in their career. Because one of the people
Mhm.
they named was Patrick Mahomes. In my opinion, that's not Patrick Mahomes. I think that's
It's
Patrick
not.
Mahomes. I think that's Patrick Mahomes now. But I think have Patrick Mahomes, like he probably can go anywhere now and maybe do
I mean,
something.
but we don't know.
Yeah, we don't know. But he might can go anywhere now and maybe do something. But had he started his career in Chicago, we wouldn't even be talking about Patrick Mahomes like we talking
Not
about
like we do now.
because of the defense he had it um
Eberflus.
with Kansas City and Andy Reid. Come on, bro. You with Andy Reid and that offense and whatever the personnel that they had. He go to Chicago to start his career. He probably on his second team already, third team already. Depending on where he went the second time. But and then on top of that, another person they named was Brady. I personally don't think that was Brady either. I think Brady, a couple things I say about Brady. Because they was like Brady, one of them people he could have went anywhere. Nah, I think Brady benefited from being with Bill Belichick and that system first. And even when we seen him go to Tampa Bay, they had the people forget they changed the offense in the middle of the season because Brady wasn't doing nothing with it. They changed the offense and started doing more stuff he was doing with the Patriots. So nobody is like everybody trying to make it seem like Tom Brady can play in any scheme. He can't. We just seen he couldn't play in their scheme in Tampa Bay. They had to change the scheme. So I hate when people try to make it because a person is a great quarterback or they like this person. They try to make it seem like they can do all. No, pay attention. Stop trying to put these narratives and stuff on people that don't even exist. Because Tom Brady cannot play in any scheme. We already seen it.
Facts. And most people can't. It's really just we see the media make up narratives for their favorite. Whoever their favorite is, they're gonna make up a narrative about, well, he can do X, Y, and Z with no help. Like anybody, ain't no quarterback consistently getting their team anywhere of note without
Nah.
no help. But like you said, coaching matters, but something that's not talked about a lot, continuity matters. Having the same, not only does coaching matters, but having the same coaches on a for a 2 to 3 to 4 year basis to allow you to not only develop but build on like the success that you have on a year-to-year basis. That's
Mm-hmm.
something that Hurts just don't have. That most successful quarterbacks have the same coordinator for not for at least 2 to 3 years before they make a change. They might make a change because they just ain't getting over the hump or whatever. But with most of these big name quarterbacks, they have the same guys in their ear their whole career, really.
Yeah, I would like to see somebody like Justin Fields go to like San Fran for a couple years
Ooh.
and see like what he turned into. Because you it's no way he was playing like that in Ohio State. He just got in the league and now he can't play. It's just he went to the wrong situation. And I think he might have been maybe even straight with Pittsburgh. Maybe if they kept him another year, I don't know. But no, he wasn't gonna really um go to the Jets and do it. He had potential too, but it's hard to when you start your career off the wrong way now you and then you go to other non-beneficial situations to kind of just turn it on. So I
Well,
would love to see somebody like Justin Fields go to like San Fran or somebody else that's good with
so hard to properly um identify, or what's the word I'm looking for? Evaluate a quarterback without them having stuff that you need to be successful. So prime example is, all right, we talked about Sam Darnold. When he went to the Vikings, that was the perfect situation for him. He had a running game. He had one of the best wide receivers duos in the league. He had a good offensive line and a good defense with a good head coach. So all of that, that's like a one in a million type situation to be dropped in.
mm-hmm.
And he was a first round draft pick. So people with experience in the league. So I mean, it was just like the, the perfect storm. And then he messing around and win 14 games there, go to another team and win 14 more games. So he about to
Yeah,
come up
yeah,
on the bag. He
for
about to
sure.
come up on the bag. And I don't think he leaves it. No matter what happened in the playoffs, I think they gonna drop a bag on them for sure.
Yeah, you got to after you seen what he did last year with a whole
Mhm.
other team. He come to your team, man. I got to see what you gonna do another year. Like we gotta do something. I ain't letting you because
Out
they
the
was
building.
already saying that even with the Vikings, you know, he basically the situation was he just wanted an opportunity to start. So when they weren't gonna give him that opportunity, he went elsewhere, whatever. And then just to the point of what we were saying about going to other situations, like your second situation, like I was saying about Fields, might not be a good because look at Baker Mayfield. He goes to like two other teams. He went to Carolina and somewhere else, I think.
LA.
Yeah, and so boom, he landed with Tampa Bay. All is wet, except for this season. He was been looking like boo boo. They said he was MVP, and then he turned into PVM. But
Turned into a PPP loan.
but but yeah. So coaching matters. That's all the point we were trying to get to. Coaching matters, and a lot of times it's underrated, and stuff like that. But it'll be interesting, man. It's gonna be interesting next year to see, especially if Tomlin, they let Tomlin go. It'd be interesting to see the Steelers and the Ravens with new coaches. It'd be interesting,
Yeah,
and
it's about to
especially
be.
since they talking about, I dang, it's crazy because they were saying then, I don't know. I mean, of course it depends on how this game go, I guess, but they was just saying that Aaron Rodgers was already saying, excuse me, that he would come back to the Steelers for another year, regardless of what happened in that last game. So boom, time to get fired. What they gonna do with Rodgers? Or is Rodgers don't even want to come back? If it's me, hey bro, you old. Yeah. You ain't gotta get out the league, but you gotta get the hell out this team. Um yeah, for me the Rodgers experiment is that I didn't see him go to the Jets and I didn't see him go to the Steelers and nah, we ain't you basically another you and Russell Wilson doing the same thing right now. Y'all just getting money to be mediocre. The league should be done with Russ and I don't even want y'all as backups. Like
They just need to get out.
I don't want you Russ. I don't need you as a backup. I don't need you in the quarterback room for a young player. Rodgers, we definitely don't need you for any one of those. So I mean, you ain't got to get out of the league, but you can't play for us.
Hey, before we get out of here, I do want to touch on these matchups though. We got some good ones. Obviously, we ain't already talked about the Birds and the Niners, but on the NFC side, we got the Rams and the Panthers. We got Green Bay with a third matchup against the Bears. That's all for the NFC side, outside of us, of course. But we already
That's
talked
the
about
part of
that.
the game I want to see the most.
I think, I think Green Bay. That's Green Bay got a good chance of beating
I'm saying Green Bay.
the Bears.
I'm saying Green Bay taking that game.
I
That's
feel
my
like it
that's my
too.
pick for that game. I
I
feel like Chicago luck has ran out. Like the
Mhm.
hourglass, the saying is at the end of the hourglass. It's over.
They playing with house money at this point now anyway though. Like if they don't make it any further than where they made it, like this is a successful season. This year one for Ben whatever his name is.
Johnson.
Ben. Yeah, Ben Johnson. They was able to get a 2 seed in the NFC in his first year. They found out that Caleb can win games, which is a big thing. Whether he get any better from this point on, that's another conversation. Ben know he can at least make it to a 2 seed with the current quarterback. And, running game, offense straight. I don't think anything, they don't really need to change much with the offense. Defense, obviously, outside of taking the ball away, they kind of trash on the defensive side of the ball. So I think they just playing with house money. This other matchup with the Panthers and the Rams, I speaking of luck running out, this might be the last game for the Panthers this season.
I
They
think
looked up, they
last
caught them slipping. They caught them slipping at home the first time. I don't think it's gonna happen 2 times in a row.
Nah, nah. I got the clock striking 12 for both of them. I think it's over with for Carolina, and I think it's over with for Chicago. Now, on the flip side, Carolina, I don't feel like they got a chance.
The Bears
Chicago,
do.
I wouldn't be surprised if they won. I'm just saying I think Green Bay gonna win just because a bunch of different reasons. I think they got a better team, they're better coaching. I mean, yeah, as far as this season, and he been there for a while. That's why I'm saying better coaching. But they just, I mean, I don't know. For Green Bay to go out, they done been to the playoffs with the last 2 years with
Two,
Love.
3 years, something like that.
Yeah, so I mean, it's dang near put up a shut up. Yeah, I mean, y'all gonna lose again? Like first game?
And they just had a bye basically. They rested their starters in the last week, so they should
Exactly.
be
Y'all lost the
they should
first
be
game
fresh.
last year. Y'all lost the first game last year to Philly. Um, you can't lose the first round again this year, especially not to Chicago. Um,
Speaking
yeah,
of budget,
I just think they the better team. Like if they lose this game, I damn near just got to chalk that up to bad coaching. Like
so
they on
you
them
think the pressure all on Green Bay.
Chicago. I mean, yeah,
Chicago?
it's well, yeah, it's on Green Bay, but I think that like Caleb Williams, his first playoff game, and you going up against a division opponent, so I can see the comfortability with being like, we already played them twice or whatever. But at the same time, it's like sometimes Caleb just be out there doing stuff, and then and it just be working out. I say this about Caleb though. I ain't gonna say I seen everything I need to see from Caleb, but I seen him get better than from last year.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems like he usually know where to go with the ball.
Right.
It seems like he usually know where to go with the ball, and I don't know if that's him being able to read a defense, or that's just like Ben Johnson just like, look, this was he just schemed
Just
it
a
up that
read.
way. Yeah, just he schemed it up that way, and then like, look, this right here gonna be open, and that's gonna be open, and that's all he's looking for, or whatever. And which if you got a young quarterback, that's what I want you to have. I don't want you to have to do all this extra stuff. Hey, this is the way I designed this play. This dude gonna be open if they in this, and then this dude gonna be open if that's covered or whatever. And then if that's covered, then you do your Caleb Williams stuff, or you and he be doing it, and he find an open guy. So I can't be mad at him for that. Like I feel like he only should be getting better from here. It's to be determined if he do, but I like what I seen out of Caleb this year. I like what I seen out of Caleb this year, because I ain't think I thought he was gonna be out there looking. He do just be out there doing stuff sometimes, but he don't look as crazy as he did last year, and that's the growth you want to see from a young quarterback. But from the standpoint of him playing Green Bay, Love, you done been here before, bro. You got to start. You got to do something, bro. You got to do something, bro. And if it was how I'm looking at the playoffs, we're gonna talk about the other matchups or whatever. But I said earlier today, the NFC Championship gonna be Green Bay and Philly, and the reason why I said that is I said that Green Bay was gonna beat
The Bears
Chicago,
and
and they
Seattle.
gonna have to go play Seattle. They gonna beat Seattle. We're gonna have to play the Rams. It's probably gonna come down to the end. We're gonna beat the Rams, and then we're gonna have to play Green Bay in the NFC
And Philly.
Championship. Yep. And then we're gonna have all our home games just like we thought. And we're gonna spank Green Bay, and we're gonna be off to the
Super Bowl.
Super Bowl. That's my predictions until anything else change. But that's what I got. And then I got the Rams beating Carolina. I got Green Bay beating Chicago. And then what's the other matchups?
Man, we got some good ones. So we already talked about Texans and Steelers. We already feel like the Texans gonna put the
Yeah,
Steelers
yeah.
between the washer dry. But we got two big ones. So when we talk about time to get off the pot, we got the Bills going up against the Jaguars. So we got Trevor Lawrence going up against Josh Allen. Josh Allen, if he don't do it this year, it might not ever get done. But like I said, this the worst team he never had in the playoffs.
You know what? I haven't watched Jacksonville this season. I don't think so. And I think the time I did see him, it was like early in the season.
I
I
think
think
we watched him against the Chiefs.
I was about to say Travis Hunter.
You bet. Must have got a phone call. But yeah, the Buff uh, he back. He back.
I think Travis Hunter might have still been out there, is what I was saying. But so it's hard for me to speak on that game because I ain't seen Jacksonville. So I mean I seen highlights, but I don't really like to go off highlights. So
I think when we talk about Jacksonville, they the more complete team out of Buffalo. But
I
obviously,
was figuring that.
when Allen go beast mode, like I mean, it ain't too much that you can do when he do that. Also, Cook's been having a hell of a year. He probably the best running back in the league
Mm-hmm.
outside of Bijan Robinson this year.
Yep.
Um, but that defense is suspect. Now, they didn't look suspect against us, but that's an understatement because sometimes we make defenses look better than they actually are. Uh, but I think that's going to be a good game. And I think when we talk about pressure, initially I was saying it's more pressure on Allen just because of the situation. It's no Lamar, no Joe Burrow, no Mahomes. Really, this yours for the taking, but you got to do it on the road. He gonna have to win 3 games to get to the Super Bowl, just to lose to the Eagles. So when we flip it to Jacksonville, Trevor Lawrence we was calling him a bust. This probably like his first year showing us anything other than that. Now you
And
can
people acted
see
like damn all the other seasons didn't even happen. I'm like,
right.
hell no. Nah. I gotta make a video about that. Nah, we ain't gonna start this.
So we
But
just
had
gonna
one
forget
season.
about
Yeah,
and
cause when he came out, they was acting like he was the best thing since then.
Brady.
Yeah, so for him to just not be showing up, nah, I don't want to hear it.
Cause when we talk about one season, this is one good season. Let's let's see you put a couple of these together, and let's see what you do in the playoffs. Cause it's one thing to get off in the regular season, but playoffs a whole nother story. But who you got in that one?
And
I know you said you ain't really seen Jacksonville like that, so you
yeah, it's hard for me to say, but I feel like and even before you said that, I was like, I feel like Jacksonville the better overall team. But at the same time, I don't. It another thing too is Trevor Lawrence don't be looking good in the playoffs. Like he don't be looking good in the regular season, but he don't be looking good. It's gonna go. It's it's gonna come. I say this for Jacksonville. It's probably gonna come down to two things: coaching and how Trevor Lawrence react to being in certain situations. Because we know the moment ain't gonna never be really too big for Josh Allen like that. Now he
Mm-mm.
did miss that throw the other night. I don't know if it was too big for him, but for some reason he missed the throw. Now I be telling people that Josh Allen he do be choking. He do be choking. But
You gotta give him a break. That was against a goat in training and
yeah,
hurt.
yeah, yeah. He don't want no smoke with Hurts and Mahomes. But I don't, but we don't never really see Josh Allen in playoff wise. We don't never really see him forward early. So it's
Nah.
gonna be interesting. It's gonna be interesting. Like you said, he could go Superman, put the team on his back, and if they get that run game going, it's over with. But if I had to pick a team, I'm gonna just go Bills, just cause I know the Bills. I can't just go with Jacksonville and I don't know them. I don't know what they got going, and I seen Trevor Lawrence just look like trash too many times. So I'm gonna go with cause he probably gonna go out there and throw some interceptions. I'm gonna just go with the Bills on that one.
Yeah, we might have
He
to
got he
call
got to
that one.
he got to prove me wrong.
We're gonna have to call that one the head bowl because whoever lose, we're gonna be on their head between
For
Trevor Lawrence and especially Josh Allen. He
real.
can't lose. He can't do nothing but go to the Super Bowl. Like that's the only way this season is a success for them. But speaking of getting out the pot, we got your other boy, Herbert
Man,
going up against Drake May and in New England.
give me the pick. Damn. What's my dog name? Head coach for the Patriots.
Man, was it Vrabel?
Variable. Variable gonna have something for him. Variable gonna have something for him. Hey, give me the Patriots, man. I think Herbert gonna go out there and throw a bunch of picks. He gonna throw at least two. And whether he throw more than that, I don't know. He gonna throw at least two picks. They're gonna be crucial. And yeah, man, Herbert's so shaky. I'm talking about you can put ice cream in his hands, man. He'll make him a milkshake. But yeah, give me the Patriots on that one. I don't trust Herbert at all, bro. Like, now Drake May, I know this is first time in the playoffs, but the reason why I can roll with him is just because I trust Vrabel. Vrabel. We just seen what Vrabel did with the Patriots this season, but we did also see what he
With the
did
Titans.
with Tennessee. So, give me Vrabel in this one, man. I'm going with Vrabel is while I'm picking the Patriots.
So I got your winners as the Rams, the Birds, the Packers, the Bills, the Patriots, and the Texans.
Yep.
Yeah,
Who
that's
you who you who you who you had? You had anything different?
let's see, Rams, Packers. Nope, literally the same teams. Same
All
teams
right.
I would have picked.
All right.
It really wasn't much. Man, I'm excited, but we finally here. Regular season over with. Now it's time to get to some real football that matters and start talking legacy because they mess around and let us beat these 49ers. I see it being right back to back, baby.
Back to back. We're gonna have to knock these Rams head between the washer and dry that people. We already beat y'all, bro. They don't want no smoke, just like San Francisco don't want no smoke. They hoping they got to play somebody else.
You know that they messed up and nobody was a juggernaut, especially in the NFC this year. So I guess it's gonna have to be us.
We're gonna be the playoff juggernaut. Yeah.
But yeah, that's all I have for the night. Shoot, we gave y'all something extra tonight. We damn near went 2 hours on you.
Yeah, for real.
We had
I
that.
gotta make some content this week.
That was some special playoff sauce for you. But shoot, we probably be covering a good bit of these games. We already know we're gonna be the Niners and the Eagles on Sunday at 4:30.
Mm-hmm.
Probably tap into the Green Bay and Chicago game at 8
Mm-hmm.
on Saturday. I don't. We,
That's
yeah,
a game. That's
we're
a
not
game I
doing the
want to
Rams in
see the most.
Carolina.
Nah, I don't care nothing
Um,
about no Rams in Carolina. The only game. Let me see who else we got on there. That look.
the Bills and the Jaguars play at 1 on Sunday, and the 8 o'clock game on Sunday is the Chargers in New England. Not a sexy game. And then the Texans and the Steelers. I don't think that's gonna be a good game either.
Uh,
Uh,
I like that
so
Chicago Green Bay game
the
though.
Chicago Green Bay game and the Philly and 49ers for sure.
Mm,
Everything else is up in the air. But you can at least count on them two
yeah,
on
for
prime
sure.
time sports. But yeah, that's all we have for you today. Make sure y'all hit that like button, drop a few comments, and as always, subscribe, subscribe,
Mm-hmm.
subscribe.
Go
Go
Birds.
Birds, dickhead.